Tomorrow marks 2 months since a tornado ripped through an Edwardsville Amazon warehouse. Many hunkered down inside. 6 never made it out. Tonight, some survivors ask, could more have been done to protect and save lives?
Right now, the federal government continues investigating all of this, but so does News 4. And our investigator, Susan L. Corey, has new audio and new information you're only seeing here from the moments before and after impact.
December 10th, 2021.
911, where's your emergency?
The Amazon warehouse got hit.
Panic 911 calls.
People are trapped in the bathroom. We got hit by a tornado.
From people working in this Amazon warehouse.
The building just fell out of nowhere.
Get it out! Out!
When a tornado struck.
The shelter area, the tornado hit. Everything's tore up here. Not okay.
6 people who took cover in a bathroom never made it home.
Nobody wakes up and thinks this is going to be the day I die.
Alonzo Harris is one of 40 employees who survived. He's a delivery driver, and that day just returned to the warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois, when a manager redirected him.
Stop your vehicles. There is a storm coming. Seek shelter.
Harris followed coworkers to Amazon's Take Shelter area. He describes it as a windowless hallway. Amazon says it was not designed to be a storm shelter.
The floor started shaking like it was coming off the ground. I was in the corridor. I turned around and I saw debris flying in the air. I screamed out loud, Lord, I don't want to get sucked away, because I thought I was going to get sucked away.
This is what the warehouse looked like before, standing at more than 1 million square feet. The Take Shelter area was in the north side of the building. It's the south part that took a direct hit.
If you had the resources to build stronger buildings, and you could do it. Build safety rooms or something, you could do it.
The Amazon warehouse wasn't built to withstand an EF3 storm. In fact, the type of construction, called tilt-up, has a history of catastrophic failure during powerful tornadoes. Tilt-up involves lifting concrete wall panels which are held in place by the roof. Strong winds travel up the walls, and if the roof is torn off, it can cause the walls to collapse.
Ordinary buildings are not designed for tornadoes.
Mark Levitan is a lead research engineer at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, known as NIST.
The word tornado does not appear in our building codes and standards, with the exception of if we're discussing storm shelters.
He led the study following the 2011 tornado in Joplin, Missouri, an EF5 storm that left a devastating mile-wide path, killing 161 people. NIST researchers found 135 of them died from building failures. The study looked at the Home Depot, a tilt-up building. The metal roof flew away and almost every wall crumbled, killing 8 people. Researchers found similar buildings were prone to structural collapse, but met building codes, which required withstanding 120-mile-an-hour winds. Speeds in Joplin were nearly double.
Have there been any conversations about adding storm shelters to those types of buildings that we know could be more vulnerable?
NIST recommends that we install storm shelters across a wide range of building types in the most tornado-prone regions of the country.
After Joplin, federal building codes changed to require storm shelters in schools. In Missouri and Illinois, there's no state mandate for shelters in warehouses or large commercial spaces.
If the goal is to protect life safety, then that's the most important thing would be to install a storm shelter.
The city of Joplin weighed that choice.
It was decided not to make that a requirement.
Instead, Chief Building Official Brian Wickland said many people did it on their own.
We saw more commercial buildings put in storm shelters.
But the city did go above and beyond standard building codes, including requiring hurricane strappings to better hold down roofs.
Starting to ask ourselves, all the things that we thought were safe before, how are they not as safe as we wish they were?
We repeatedly tried to ask Amazon about what happened here and if there are now plans to add shelters in areas prone to tornadoes. The company won't talk to us and maintains the warehouse was safe and met all building codes.
If you weren't going to send these workers home, make sure they had a safe place to go.
Attorney Jack Cassiato represents the family of Austin McEwen, a contract worker who died in the storm. They're suing Amazon, the construction company and developer, for negligence.
Amazon is able online to sell FEMA tornado-proof storm shelters, upwards of 8, 9, 10,000 for a shelter to be installed in a home, but their own facilities couldn't have similar type shelters for their workers.
Casiato claims Amazon didn't follow its emergency procedures.
Those on the south side of the building were directed by Amazon to shelter in a bathroom.
Amazon won't comment on that. The company referred us back to the statement it put out after the McEwen's lawsuit, saying local teams were following the weather conditions closely, and as soon as a warning was issued, they worked to move people to safety as quickly as possible. News 4 Investigates obtained Amazon's emergency action procedure. In the tornado response section, during a tornado watch, staff need to check local forecasts. If it elevates to a tornado warning, they have a take shelter signal and everyone goes to the designated shelter area. After the storm, Amazon reps said that process worked.
The team did what they were trained to do. The employees and our partners did what they were trained to do. Everyone was moving with a sense of urgency.
That doesn't match up with Alonzo Harris's account that most employees weren't in the take shelter area.
There was only 8 people in there.
When the storm hit?
Right.
There were only 8 people.
That's correct. People were in the warehouse and they were in the restroom who got knocked down and hurt.
OSHA is investigating what happened.
Tragic day.
Meanwhile, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker wants lawmakers to work on building code changes.
With all of the warehouses that are being built or have been built, should we be setting a state standard for that?
It's the right road for Harris, delivering added safety to employees.
The people who didn't survive, they're always in the back of my head.
As Amazon now looks to rebuild, the tornado risk remains. We checked NOAA weather records from Madison County, which Edwardsville is in, and surrounding parts of Missouri and Illinois. In the past decade, there's been at least 72 tornadoes. That count only goes through September of last year. It doesn't include the Edwardsville storm. Susan Elcory, News 4 Investigates.